Today, I'm going to show you how to get your iron clean. Hi, I'm Jamieson-Hirst of Chatterbox Quilts, and today we are talking about a very pressing subject, and that is your irons. Now, I've got a couple of irons here, and I want to talk about what you should do to, first off, keep your iron clean, and secondly, if you have something on the bottom of your iron, how you can easily clean it. So let's talk about the most important thing first, which is trying to keep the bottom of your iron clean. Then that reduces the time you need to spend cleaning it, right? Gives you more time for quilting. So, a few things you can do. First off, whenever I am using my iron and I am pressing my quilt sandwich together, so I'm using my multi-purpose quilt spray to put those 3 layers together, so that's a water type of waterish liquid, liquid type product that I make. And by the way, if you don't know how to make that multi-purpose quilt spray, you haven't tripped onto that secret yet, check up above or in the description below, because I'll put a link to information on how you can get that recipe and how you can use that spray for a variety of things in your quilting. But it is not sticky, but it's wet, and if it gets on the bottom of my iron, it will leave little marks on it. Or if I'm working with fusible web, I don't want to get the fusible web on my iron and then maybe get it on my fabric. Or even if I'm working with freezer paper, you can get that in the bottom of your iron too. So first off, you want to prevent that from happening. And the easy way to do that is to use parchment paper. Okay, yes, it's noisy, but it works very well. So it typically comes in a package like this, and it's only a certain width. Okay, this one's 15 inches wide, and so you may need to have more than one sheet that you put down if you're, ironing something quite large, or pressing, I should say, something quite large. But you can pull it off as long as you want. So a couple things when you're using this. Yes, it's noisy, but besides that, when you put it down, this is what I do, because if you are putting it down over top of your fabric underneath, right, you want to make sure that the side that is against the fabric, the underneath side, is always the underneath side, okay? You don't want to do this, get some fusible web on it, flip it over and use it next time and put that fusible web right in the back of your iron again, right? Okay, so because you can use this several times. So what I like to do, this particular one, most of them have the make of it printed on top. So I always make sure that's right side up. So I know that this is the good side, if you will, and the other side may have things on it. By the way, if you are using this and you're putting it over fabric that you're using fusible web on it, and you do get fusible web on the underside of it, you can flick it off with either an old credit card or your fingernails if you want to, or you can just, recycle this and get out a new sheet, all right? Parchment paper, not just for the kitchen. But noisy in the kitchen too. All right, another thing you can do, and this is what I've had on this particular iron. I just got a new iron, but on this particular one, I used this Nash Ironslide iron shoe. Now, who would ever think it's called an iron shoe, but that's what it's called. So it is this kind of Teflon-y kind of type material. It's actually made with fiberglass apparently, but it has this non-stick surface, and it kind of reminds me of, putting on your iron board cover, because you just put your iron in the middle of it. It has a couple of little ties at the end that you can tie up, wherever it fits on your iron, and you just tie it together, and you'll pull it first a little bit, right? So it'll gather around your iron, and then you tie it, and it's good to go. So it looks like this. So it does not stick. Things will come off it. So if you get fusible web on it, once it's cool, you can get that off. It slides around really nicely on your fabric. So it prevents things from getting on your iron, mostly. But you can still get things over time. Now, I didn't take this off my iron for a long, long time, and when I did, I've got all these marks here, so I need to clean it properly, okay? But it does help to prevent things from getting on the bottom of your iron that might stick on there and be really, really difficult to get off. So the Nash Ironslide iron shoe, check up above or in the description below, and I'll have links for how you can get your own iron shoe. All right. That's how you can prevent things from going on the bottom of your iron. And by the way, there are other kind of iron shoes that are metal that will kind of snap on. I have not tried those yet. I'm not so sure about those. If you've tried them and had good success with them, let me know in the comments below, because I'd be interested in hearing your opinion on them. Now, before we get into the next part of the video, I just want to mention one thing. Underneath my videos, you're going to see a little heart with a $sign in it, and that is your opportunity to support Chatterbox Quilts for a very small donation. If you've enjoyed my videos, if you're a frequent watcher, you can show your appreciation by giving a small donation. It helps me to buy the things you see me using in my videos and to keep my cats happy as well with treats. So if you would do that, I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you. Let's talk about cleaning your iron next, okay? Because at some point in time, you're probably going to have to clean it, all right? A couple different things you can do. And both of these would be what you would do when the iron is on. You can use some fabric sheets. These are Gain, they smell lovely. So you can get scented ones that you like the scent of because you're going to smell them when you use the iron on them. You would turn your iron on and you would just kind of rub it around here. Now this fabric sheet will start to crinkle up a bit. When you do that, that's fine, perfectly normal. By the way, you're going to do this on a pressing surface, right? Okay, so you may have to use more than one, but whatever you've got in the bottom of your iron typically will come off as you do this. And as I said, you'll really be able to smell whatever scent is in that, so just be forewarned, okay? So you may have these around, you may use them in your dryer already, so it's kind of a win-win. You can use them for a couple different things in your house. Something else I like to use a lot is this Dritz Iron Off Hot Iron Cleaner. You can get different products, but I really like this Dritz one. So it's a thick paste that I would put a little bit on a piece of batting, okay? Again, you're going to use this when your iron is hot. You're going to put it on your batting. You can kind of rub it around a little bit on the batting if you want, and then you're just going to rub it on the hot iron. So you notice I've got my batting folded in half. A lot of times I would have it folded even more in quarters because I don't want to burn my hand, right? Because you're going to be putting it on the hot iron. So that's another product that I found works very well. And again, check up above or in the description below for a link to this product. It works quite well. And you may find that you have to use more of it, like one application may not be enough, and you keep going. The one thing that I wanted to mention to you as well, and you can see that in this particular iron, these steam holes are kind of on a bit of an angle sort of, and they're quite deep. It's hard to get into them. So a lot of times I will take a cotton swab, a Q-tip, and to get in there because, you know, it's tempting to get in there with like a pin or something. You don't want to do that, right? Because you don't want to damage the bottom of your iron. Irons have different products on the bottom of them. This new one I got is different than this particular one. It also doesn't have as many of those big holes, so that's going to be a bonus when I want to clean it. But before you use any of these products on your iron, it's a good idea to check the information that came with it to see if there's anything that you should not be putting on the bottom of your iron. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to share it with your quilting friends. And remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. And before you go, check out these other videos I've included just for you. For more helpful quilting information, please go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.